Playing Yu-Gi-Oh can be expensive, with multiple staples being around $5 to $10 a copy, certain cards being $50 to $200 a set, and mini reprints only occasionally happening in megatens or random side sets every year. It's very difficult to get into the game. But what about budget players? The poor souls that only have so much money every week to put into the game, can they even compete? I think so, and I want to show you how you can too. Showcasing multiple deck lists I've made up from $30 to $150, I aim to show you how you can improve any deck over time and make it competitively viable. This is Budget Breakdown.
Hello, and bye. We're structuring the showdowns today.
The energy shift from that. What the fuck?
What?
Hello. Anyway, we're talking.
I don't know. How do I talk about video again? I haven't done this in like 3 weeks. Let's talk about this shitty little deck I have right here. Look, we got a Fire Kings. Whoa! They just got a structure deck recently. That's so flipping cool. God. You want to make out? What do they do?
Fucking no.
Rooting the bit. Most of this deck actually is really fun to play, even like just straight out of the box. This deck is super unique because it just does what it needs to do just straight off the bat. You get more cards to like support it, but you can just fully play it by itself just right out the gate. Proof of that, it's right in front of you. This is only with the structure decks, and it does play really well. I know it says $70 for it on the side up there. Ignore that. Omega is stupid as hell sometimes. So what does this deck do? Well, your main goal is to blow up. Like actually, most of your deck effects actually involve you destroying your own monsters to actually proc their own effects. Because of the new support, that's actually a lot easier to do and a lot more efficient to do, but that's still your main ability. Is it good? I'd say it's pretty good. I'll prove it right now. We're gonna show off the pure starter deck, just structure deck right here by this. Then I'll give you a little bit more of an upgraded one that's a little bit easier to like just vibe with and has a little micro engine in it that you'll like. I think it's really funny. Let's talk about this one though, and it's pretty much CaliFX's 3-time structure deck build, except he forgot to put 2 extra cards in, so I put in 2 Heralds of the Abyss just to fucking put something there. If you have some of the cards from the Rarity Collection, I would say switch these 2 Heralds of Abyss out for just Pot of Prosperity, because it would help you a lot more. But let's talk about the cards we actually have right now. We're playing 3 Fire King Garunics. This guy can revive itself from hand or graveyard if you just pop a fire monster, which is really good. Then, if it's summoned, you can pop a fire monster from your deck to gain attack. This benefits a lot of the main deck's plays, which activate when they're destroyed by card effect. High Avatar Garunix is the original boss monster, and it really shows its age. During the standby phase, after this card was destroyed by card effect, it's into the graveyard. Special summon this card from your graveyard. If you do, destroy all other cards on the field. When it's destroyed by battle, it's into the graveyard. You can special summon 1 Fire King monster from your deck, except Fire King High Avatar Garunix. AKA, if you pop this one, you summon the other Garunix. That's actually good. Fire King High Avatar Kirin, during either main phase, you can pop a fire monster in your hand or field, then summon this guy. If he's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Fire King monster from your hand or graveyard, except himself. Then destroy 1 card on the field if you want to. Actually a major playmaker during your opponent's turn and can actively change the way and flow of the deck. Now you're not just playing on your own turn. Darvada, who, although cannot be special summoned, is a monster negate, and if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, lets you special summon a winged beast, beast warrior, or fire beast, but its effects are negated. We also have Ponix. Ponix is the true starter to the deck now. You want to find this card as often as possible. If a monster was originally fire, was destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon this guy from your hand. If he's no more special summoned, you can add a Fire King spell trap from your deck to your hand. During the next standby phase, this card was destroyed into the graveyard, add it back to your hand. Fire King Avatar Barong is an extender. The face-up Fire King monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, except during the damage step. Special summon this card from your hand once per turn. During the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by battle or card effects into the graveyard, add a Fire King card from your deck to your hand. And then Rangbali, who is really cool looking. I'm gonna be honest, he looks so cool. Rangbali is exactly like Arvada, but instead of being able to revive something from the graveyard, it can special summon itself. We also then have the 2 Fencing Fire Ferrets. If this card is destroyed, it's into the graveyard, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, then burn your opponent for 500 damage. Really good time card. Every deck should have one of those. You do Fire King Sanctuary, the greatest spell card I've ever read in my life. Main combo would be Onyx into this. Fire King Sanctuary, when it's activated, lets you set a Fire King Island just straight up into your field zone. Then, if the card in your field zone would be destroyed by a card effect, destroy one fire monster you control instead. Once per turn, if your opponent summons a monster, you can immediately after this effect resolves, XZ summon one Fire XZs from your extra. You have a fair amount of those. And by fair amount, I mean exactly 2. Speaking of Fire King Island, this is Fire King Island. Once per turn, you can choose one of these effects. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster in your hand or field, and if you do, add a Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. Or, if you control no monsters, you can control one Fire Wing Beast monster from your hand. Holy cow, this deck is like so revolving around this card. It's amazing. If they gave Generator a Sanctuary like this, Generator would be tier 1. This deck is tier 1 because it has a Sanctuary. Fire King Skyburn. Target an equal number of Fire King monsters you control and cards your opponent controls. Destroy all of them. If a Fire King monster you control will be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Circle of the Fire Kings. Target one fire monster you control and one fire monster in your graveyard. Destroy that monster you control, so summon that other monster. You can only use it once per turn. Really good revival option if you need it. Fire Formation Tenki. Really don't need to go into this card. It just lets you out of level 4 or lower Beast Warrior. You really like Arvada, you really like Ring Bali, you really like Verong. They're your 3 options. Herald of the Abyss. Declare one monster type and one attribute, and your opponent has to remove one of those type of cards from their field. Dark Hole's amazing. Kaijus, Imperm, and Droll. Surprisingly, Droll and Imperm are both in this structure deck, and oh my god, I am so thankful they are, because Droll is like $5. We also have Pita, Fire Timer, such a good card. If you're playing a fire deck, perfect. Diamond Direwolf, I mean, it's all right. Coach King, Giant Trainer, attach and draw a card. Your Runic's Eternity. If this card's XE summoned, destroy all other monsters on the field. And you can detach one material from this card, then target one spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. And if you do, it gains 500 attack. You're really good both ways, but it has one more option. Obviously, because it's based off of Phoenix, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate the effect to summon as many Fire Kings as it had as material. This structure deck is genuinely such a good place for new players to start, and has some reasonable lines you can go into to like improve it very slowly. Obviously, the like expensive build for the deck is like Wanted, Sinful, Spoiled. They're like $300 for the core. We're not going to do that because I like my wallet this week at least.
No, you don't.
Leave me alone, Dad. Let me show you this deck actually bullying a Blue Eyes player. Whoa! I bullied a fucking Blue Eyes player. Who would have thought? Does this show off how cool the deck is? No, that just shows that people need to stop fucking coping on Blue Eyes. Get a real deck, pussy. They'd be out of their depth in a fucking puddle.
That's a year. What are you?
It's my bit to insult them. Whoa, the majority of this deck is the exact fucking same. Who would have thought? Let's talk about the new cards in this upgraded build pretty much. Hey, it's mostly fucking generic shit. Who would have thought? We got Ash Blossom, we got Nibiru, we got 1-for-1, we've got Prosperity. We put a Dogmatica engine in this now, which is very helpful for this deck. Dogmatica, if you don't know, blocks you out of your extra deck, but lets you remove the extra deck from your opponent as well. So, main goal for it would be using Nadir Servant, summoning Maximus, sending off the Shureg in the Garura to draw a card, and then using the Shureg to basically just keep plussing. And we also have a video for this, although obviously I can't show you as much about this deck as before. We'll go do a real quick cover over of this because it's fairly simple. High Avatar Grunix, 2 Fire King Grunixes, 3 Kirin, 3 Ponix, 1 Ring Bali, 3 Arvada, Barong, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Nibiru, 3 Imperm, 1-1-for-1, 2 Prospies, 1 Skyburn, 3 Tenki, 2 Sanctuary, 2 Islands, 1 Ecclesia, 1 Maximus, 1 Fluoradius, and 3 Nadirs. Extra deck Boral Sword to be your OTK, Decode Talker to draw cards, Hita to get a fire monster, Sunlight Wolf to bring back a fire monster, Bucephalus 2 to send another Beast Warrior Winged Beast from the extra deck to the grave, Shureg to add a Beast Warrior Winged Beast, I guess, Burgit to draw a card, Linkuriboh, Garunix, Dingirsu, he's just a big fucking horse, Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy to be a spell and trap negate, Entis, actually not here for the normal reason you think Entis would be in here when you're playing Dogmatica. Normally when Entis is in a deck, it's designed to actually be a disruption to your opponent for just being a pop. However, in Fire King exactly, it's actually a way to plus off of your deck if your opponent attempts to negate you. Since now you're just plussing by popping a card. Garuna to draw a card, and Titanic Clad to just get more of your fucking Dogmatica engine going. Fairly simple. Extra the side deck, I didn't really do much into this one, but you can obviously see that this deck's a lot cheaper. Hey, let me show you this deck, Bullying Yangzing. Anyway, that's Fire King for you. I don't know, are you gonna play this deck? I may actually. It's kind of funny. It's a little bit silly. It's a little bit goofy. It's cheap as hell. If you like this video, subscribe. Hey, I got a cool little fucking thing going on where I'm trying to fucking do this full time. So like, support me, please. I beg you. Please, don't leave me here. Please. Michael, don't leave me here, Michael.